Once you pop in America, you could pop back home. That's how it go. Dead ass. Like I with some back in the days named SAS from London. They were some rappers I signed, not just me, I'm not gonna sit and act like it was me, but Jim Jones had discovered and Juelz, to be totally honest with you, had found these guys, SAS from London. They was Bloods. I didn't even know at the time it was Bloods in London. This was years and years ago, and they had visas. They was coming to America, not just with us, they worked with Dame Dash as well. And they was hot. These was nice, bro. They had the London accent, but they was spitting. These are my homeboys. And they was starting to get notoriety with us. We was building Dipset. It wasn't their turn to come yet, pause. It wasn't their turn to like come out yet, but we was like, yo, these is nice. We put them on a few different projects. And we was like, their visas ran out and they was catching cases over here in America and they had to go back. But I'm like, these is nice.
Cameron just exposed how a major London Dipset investment involving Jim Jones and Juelz Santana completely fell apart, and what that really reveals about money, fame, and power in the music industry. This story goes way deeper than just a hip-hop history recap. It exposes how label decisions, international artist development, and cross-border music investments can collapse even when the talent is clearly there. From London rappers like SAS getting early Dipset cosigns to visa complications cutting short momentum, this was a real attempt at global expansion before streaming made worldwide reach the norm. Cameron breaks down why making it in America first remains the gateway to global success today. And it shows how industry economics quietly decide who breaks through internationally, and why some of the most talented artists never fully make it despite all the buzz around them. Now, I'm about to let y'all hear it for yourselves, but before I do, like the video, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe. Let's get into it.
I think that you can make a star, but I think it's going to probably be 10 or 15 years out, and I'll support my point right here. And the reason I really believe it is that as the NBA expands and as these guys come to America and they become stars and they make all this money, right? I think you're going to naturally have the basketball that's promoted, that's developed over there in the whatever European leagues or wherever these guys come from. I think that's going to continue to get better because now these kids have like stars in the NBA that they can look to and say, hey, I want to be like, whoever's come from my country or who's ever come from a league that I've played in. And those guys start to bring those guys back over there. But I also believe social media will help to make all of these places where these guys come from more visible. And I think that's the piece that's missing, right? I think you don't fall in love with the Greek Freak Paws or Luka or Wimby because you don't see them until it's time for these guys to get drafted. So you have no emotional tie. And so I believe like that, right? I think music is a bit different because music doesn't have boundaries now, and you listen to it and you consume it in 1,000 different ways. And I think that like Drake makes good music, but I think he also, that kind of sits in a different box. But I think with sports in particular, I think you have to know stuff about people. And I think as they're making the game more like internationally based, I heard Gilbert Arenas said the other day, he was like, I think the league has gotten softer to open up the league to European players, because I really believe like Adam Silver and who's ever board of directors or whoever they may be, I really believe that these people believe that the ball that's being developed overseas is a lot better than AAU basketball. And so I think that you shift, like you'll always get your American players just because you always have talented guys. But as you're trying to expand like your distribution, your TV rights, the brand in general as the NBA, I think that it can happen, but I don't think it's happening anytime soon.
Ask the question to me so I just make sure I answer it correctly.
Yeah. So basically, what would it take for an international player to be an American star? So to gain that popularity over here, not just where they are based.
And just so I'm clear, playing over there or playing wherever?
I think it's like playing wherever. Yeah.
Once you pop in America, you could pop back home. That's how it go. Dead ass. Like I with some back in the days named SAS from London. They were some rappers I signed, not just me, I'm not gonna sit and act like it was me, but Jim Jones had discovered and Juelz, to be totally honest with you, had found these guys, SAS from London. They was Bloods. I didn't even know at the time it was Bloods in London. This was years and years ago, and they had visas. They was coming to America, not just with us, they worked with Dame Dash as well. And they was hot. These was nice, bro. They had the London accent, but they was spitting. These are my homeboys. And they was starting to get notoriety with us. We was building Dipset. You know, it wasn't their turn to come yet, pause. It wasn't their turn to like come out yet, but we was like, yo, these is nice. We put them on a few different projects. And we was like, you know, their visas ran out and they was catching cases over here in America. And they had to go back. But I'm like, these is nice. And I'm like, yo, why not don't fuck with you in London like how we fuck with you over here? And he said, Cam, my man Mayhem, that was one of the members' name. He was like, yo, they ain't never gonna fuck with us over there until they fuck with us over here. Once we pop in America, then home is gonna love us. I'm like, that's kind of up. So you gotta think about this. It's a lot. Look at Joker, right? Joker almost didn't want to go to the parade after they won the championship. Denver Nuggets, that is. He like, parade in 3 days? No, I gotta get back home. Joker loves where he's from. He wants to be home. You think if the Joker couldn't make the same amount of money playing basketball at home, that he wouldn't stay home? He would definitely stay home. He wouldn't come over here. If you're making the same amount of money here at home, he would stay home. Same thing with Luka, same thing with everybody else. Them know once you pop here, this is where it counts. A lot of people say this, and I'm not getting into no political. Only reason they ride out on us yet, pause. I'm talking about other countries, because we in debt like a mother talking about America, is because of our entertainment value. We have the best entertainment in the world, whether it's sports, whether it's movies, whether it's TV. We are the capital of entertainment in the world. You know, basketball games come on, staying up to 4, 5, 6 in the morning to watch the championship because the time difference, so on and so forth, to the point where they're trying to figure out how to put NBA teams in Europe. And could we expand football teams in London? That's why every year they go over to London and play a couple games, football-wise or basketball-wise, because if they could expand it, they could, but the time travel, et cetera, is just be too much for the players. They got NBA League in Africa right now, where J. Cole was playing, and they developing over there. We are the #1 entertainment place in the world, and people know that. So the reason people come here is so they could go home and stunt. Yeah. You see, America love me, because you talking about. Them love me, nigga. I've been acting funny, because I'll go back to Milwaukee. Giannis voice. You know, yo, I know you ain't acting funny. I go back to Dallas, where I'm Luka voice. You know what I'm saying? These go home in the summertime. They don't want, not saying they don't like America and they don't like, niggas want to go home. Same thing if you played in China, whatever professional sport, outside of stuff on Marbury, you know, he loves it over there. I'm just saying, want to go home when they finish working, man. Love home.
This Cameron situation really highlights just how unpredictable the music business and entertainment world becomes when you zoom out and look at it globally. From where I see it, this isn't really just about a Dipset opportunity that didn't land. It's more about timing, infrastructure, and the fact that international music markets weren't fully aligned the way they are today with streaming platforms, digital distribution, and social media marketing. And here's a key industry fact for y'all. Global recorded music revenue today is heavily driven by streaming, which accounts for over 65% of total industry revenue. What I take from this is that Dipset may have actually been ahead of their time when trying to build global ties, but the ecosystem simply wasn't developed enough back then to support that kind of expansion at scale in a stable way. So let me ask y'all this. Did Cameron and Dipset really have the right vision, but just moved too early when it came to breaking UK artists like Saz into the American market? And do you think that London investment would have played out differently if it happened in today's streaming-first music industry? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure you like and subscribe. Peace.